Hello and welcome. My name is Python V, and today I'll be welcoming you to the Firebase with JavaScript backend course. Now, this course is for those people who have knowledge in JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, and it's just a fun course. This course will give you an intro and an overview of how the backend works, and you can use it to do smaller projects and have something you could post on your portfolio. I'm going to be teaching you how the backend works, and I will be so subtle so you can understand everything about the Firebase backend course. And note, you don't need any framework in this course. And fine, if you have a framework, you want to use a framework like React, Vue.js, or any other framework, it is advisable for you to watch how the logic of this video works. But this video is meant for JavaScript, vanilla JavaScript developers. Without wasting so much time, I would love you to have created an account with Google, which is a Gmail account, and because that is the only way you can access a Firebase console. So if you've logged into your, like the way I've done here, I've logged into the Google, my Gmail, I've logged into Google, and I have created an account, I've signed in. You have something on top that says go to console. You can click go to console, or you can go to get started. I don't want to waste a lot of time here. I'll be showing you all the requirements and everything we need for this course. So I'll be looking through my notes, and the first video we'll be talking about in this video is introduction and the requirement. If you are having issues with JavaScript, as I can say, being a developer and the starting point is not easy. It is not an easy journey, but one thing you should know that when it gets harder, that is when you shouldn't give up. There are a lot of tutorials online, and you could watch JavaScript videos. And one of the videos I'll recommend for you to watch, if you are a JavaScript developer, if you are starting with web development, I would love you to go to the Net Ninja. That's a beautiful place to start off your coding career. You can search for JavaScript like this. So once you search for JavaScript, you can take JavaScript for beginners, and if you're done with this, you can take modern JavaScript. If you have very good knowledge of these two, you can come back to this course, because this course is going to go in depth into JavaScript. I might not have the time to start looking at the basics of JavaScript and so much more. And if you've been doing JavaScript and you're having issues with JavaScript in some particular topics, or maybe you're having issues with object-oriented JavaScript, I would love you to touch this particular course. It is very good if you are having issues with object-oriented JavaScript, and if you're having issues with the ES6 tutorials, that is ES6 JavaScript, you want to get a hold of ES6 JavaScript, I would love you to take this particular course. And you want to do the DOM, you want to enjoy the DOM, you want to work with the DOM, you can take JavaScript DOM tutorial. And if you're JavaScript and you have issues with async await, callbacks, and promises, there's a particular course here for async JavaScript that is for advanced JavaScript developers. So it is preferable you come and pick up this course, asynchronous JavaScript. This is the 2020 version, and I can tell you it is the best out there. In short, it's one of the courses I recommend you check. So if you have a grasp of JavaScript, you've finished up your JavaScript tutorial, you've gotten, as I said, a grasp, you've gotten a hold of it, you understand some of these things, I will start taking you into the backend side of JavaScript. So in the next course, we'll be diving into the JavaScript setup and the Firebase setup. See you in the next class.